Welcome back to another edition of the Washington Nationals here on OOTP 27. And as you can see, another injury has happened. Matt Pilkington suffered a partially torn UCL. He will be out for the next 11 to 12 months. That also kind of actually is interesting for the trade deadline here. Not that Matt Pilkington was ever really in contention for being on the team right now, because he's just kind of really hasn't developed to be what we wanted him to be. He's still useful enough, at least where he is right now. Who knows what he's going to be like when he comes back from this injury, because he's had a bunch of injuries in his career. I mean, he's torn his labrum, he's torn his UCL now. I mean, he's had a lot of elbow and shoulder stuff. I mean, it's not been great. So who knows what he's going to be like when he comes back. He may even be wrecked. But what that does is, since we're able to put him on the 60-day IL and remove him off of our 40-man roster, it then opens up a possibility of being able to add somebody here at the deadline without having to DFA anybody off of the 40-man. Now, that is with saying that, like, Jose Rodriguez in 2 to 3 months will have to be added on. Evan Hollick won't have to be added on until the offseason. But Rodriguez is really the 2 to 3 months that, probably somewhere along in the playoffs, I had to imagine. Yeah, probably like mid-October-ish, something like that is what I would imagine for Rodriguez. So don't have to think about that quite right now, but we have an open spot on the 40-man roster, and what is really a need here? I mean, I don't really think we need to improve the pitching. I feel like the starters, like right now, it would be Harris, Skubal, and Hardcastle are the 1 through 3 in the playoffs, and then fourth would be just any number of Rodemaker, Kleeman, Rouse, Flory, Yorkin, maybe even, Alcia, just, a plethora of guys we could give a chance to for that fourth spot. So we don't really need to go out and acquire a fourth pitcher, I don't feel like. And then, like, what are we going to do with the lineup? Like, James Wood will come back at some point, and that's already going to create a logjam in the outfield, because Hope's been playing well, Picat's been playing well, O'Reilly's doing his thing. I guess, like, a center fielder, we could do something to where, like, maybe we play Hope in center field. Like, Sorota's a 65 in center with 70 range. Hope is a 60 in center with 65 range. And, like, we've tried Hope there in center field a little bit. He's never, like, he had a season in 2029 with LA where he had a negative ZR in center. We've never really tried him there a ton. He did play there in the postseason last year. So, like, we could try that. I mean, he's been really good this year. So maybe that's the way we open up a spot. But then, like, how do we get Sirota off the roster? I doubt he would be a guy who wants to get sent down to AAA. He would probably decline it because he can decline it. Or maybe I'll turn that option off, because I've always thought about turning that off. So maybe we'll do that. Maybe that'll be the deciding factor for us. But maybe that's the way we do things, is we open up center field to move Zahir Hope, Wood in right field, Picat still plays, maybe in left field a little bit, and then Sirota goes down, we acquire somebody, and who knows? But who knows what the thing is here, but I'm struggling to find, like, an easy spot to actually, like, acquire, like, a starter here at the deadline. Like, where would we play him? Like, we don't already have a logjam at second. Third's not going to happen. Short's not going to happen. First isn't going to happen, because even if Abel gets hurt, I like Fonseca a lot. Ford, backup catcher, maybe? Maybe we like, send down Jimenez because he gets hurt all the time, and then we can remove Leno off the 40-man. Or whatever it may be, and we acquire, like, another legit catcher. I mean, it would eat into Harry Ford's playing time, but maybe we get, like, a catcher who can catch, and then also, like, where else would he play? I just don't really see an option to, like, have anything for us, unless there's like a legit center fielder out there. Unless there's, like, a dude out there in center field who's, like, an expiring contract, maybe a second year in his deal, and he's, like, for whatever reason on the block, and he'd be better than Sirota defensively and an upgrade offensively. Maybe that would be the only thing where I'm like, okay, maybe this could be a center fielder, but anything else, I just don't really feel like we need to acquire. So we might just not even do any trades here at the deadline. Like, you look at the batters here on the trade block, As long as the 55 goes, we got Antunes, who's coming back from a fractured rib. He's a corner outfielder. He's not really going to move the needle for us. Mason Wynn's an all-glove shortstop. He's not going to move the needle for us. Jacob Wilson, he's not going to move the needle for us. So it's like, I don't really see the need to go out and get anybody. Like in center field, it'd be like Garrett Mitchell. I mean, Hope and Sirota are better than that, I feel like. Julio Rodriguez, not really a center fielder anymore, and not really good. I mean, he's a negative ZR in center field, and he's not good anymore. So, not looking to pick up him either. And then it's really just nothing else out there. And then when it comes to the pitching side of things, maybe we try to load up and get another super reliever. That could be interesting, especially since Hollick got hurt. That could be interesting. Like Bautista he's got a vesting option requiring 40 games finished. Okay, well, I don't know how close he is to that already. It looks like he's not saving games. Where would I even see his games finished? Not here. Games finished. I don't see it here either. And I don't see it here. Oh, here we go. He's only got 10. And he wouldn't be closing for us. He would be like probably a setup high leverage role for us. So we could potentially do that without having to be locked into another year of Felix Bautista. Does he have a... Well, we learned this last time that, like, no trade... Oh, he does have a no trade clause. So he has a no trade... Or would it say yes here if he has it? But I'm assuming this just means he has a no trade clause. Because he loves having no trade clauses for some reason. Or maybe it would say yes if he had it there. I could have sworn there was guys who... Or no, he just doesn't have one. Okay, so he does have one. If you have one, it just says no trade clause right here. So yeah, Mason Miller has one as well. Cool. So both of the super relievers that we might want to go after, both probably don't want to come here. Yeah, he exercises his no trade clause. Felix Bautista. Ooh. Okay. I mean, he's a 38-year-old reliever. You know, it's not going to take the farm to get this guy. You could definitely conceivably be like, hey man, we'll give you Brian Miller here, a third-round pick in 2032, one of the bad drafts. And that would get it done. Or somebody like... I mean, if this bunch, I don't really want to give up any of these guys. So, like... I mean, Pilkington would just make no sense because he's hurt. So I think like Brian Miller straight up for Felix Bautista is totally something that I would be open to doing. And I think that would be like the only thing we do here at the deadline. We bring him in, he wouldn't finish 40 games or whatever it is that he needs for the vesting. Yeah, 40 games, he's at 10. There's no chance he would finish 30 games for us in like 2 months of pitching. It just wouldn't happen. Especially in the role that he would be in for us, considering that we have Matamoros as like a true dedicated closer. So Bautista, I think we might do that. There's also Orion Kirkring. Not quite as big of an arm as we were looking for here. This Japanese guy, Katsushi Tanaka, rather. Really good pitcher for Colorado. Used to be with Atlanta. They got him in the offseason. He's got one more year of team control. The Braves are retaining 20% of it, though. I mean, he's a starter, though, so it would probably take an absolute shit ton to get him. Yeah, it would take like a legit dude. And also, I thought Colorado was going to be decent this year. They're not. They're below 500. Their run differential's negative. Yeah, they're probably a team that's looking to trade here. But what about the A's? They were a team that... Yeah, the A's are horrible. The A's would definitely be looking to trade Bautista. So I'm thinking Bautista's going to be the guy that we go after because none of these other arms really move the needle for me. Pepio is hurt. Mackenzie Gore is hurt. And Mason Miller has a no-trade clause that he does not want to come to us. So Felix Bautista for Brian Miller. Let's double check and see if there's any other names that we would be able to do it for. I'll do it for Brian Miller. Brian Miller, 35 stamina, could be a potential starting option for them down the line, has some developing to do, but he's got adaptability. He's developing well so far. He's pitching well on rookie ball. Far to go, but could be a guy that is something for them someday in Las Vegas. And then we get Felix Bautista, probably just for the rest of this season, because I will be watching his games finished like a hawk. Might even add it to the stat page just so we can keep track of that. But we're going to do this. Brian Miller, Felix Bautista, join our team, load up on the bullpen, basically take Evan Hollick's spot in the team. And then now we can remove somebody from the big league staff. Like, we've already sent down Yorkin at some point this season. I think Yorkin's going to be the guy that we send down. So he's going to go down to AAA. We're going to bring... we got Miguel Cime to bring back as well. Or no, he has a rehab assignment that he needs to go on. Yeah, so he needs to go on a rehab assignment. Felix Bautista is going to be on the big league team here. We'll make him set up 6th or later, high leverage, and then we'll put Eric Agro in a middle relief / setup role. And I think that is what we're going to rock and roll with here. And that's all we do here at the deadline. Is we have this staff. Scuba will come back at some point in 6 weeks, in 3 weeks, plus some rehab assignment time for both of these guys. They'll be back, and they'll work as late season acquisitions as well. On top of how well the team's already playing, the bats are doing what they're doing, and I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. Let's see what we are at the end of the season. We're currently 72-30. 14 games in front of the New York Mets on July 26th. Where are we at the end of the season? The 2033 regular season has come to an end, and we have had a pitcher finish with the most counting wins in baseball this season, or at least the National League, with Dax Hardcastle. And as you can see, we had an absolutely absurd season. 107 wins, 55 losses, somehow outperforming our Pythagorean when our Pythagorean has 104 wins with a plus 217 run differential, 57 wins at home, 50 on the road, 5-5 in extra innings, much improved from last year, 24-14, much improved from last year in one-run games. We struggled a bit in September. It could have been the record, but the all-time win record, I should say. But we definitely struggled a bit in the month of September. If we look here, we had, towards the end of the season, we lost the series against Milwaukee. We lost the series against Philadelphia to start September. We lost the series against the Dodgers, against the D-backs. We dropped one to Milwaukee. Or one game out of 3, I should say. But, definitely, if we look at the team stats here, September was our worst month, 15-12. But, overall, just an absurd season. And the batting average has gone down. This was first or second. Some of these have gone down to third. So some of the hitting stuff here has been slipping. Our hits are down to 10th. Don't love to see that. We've had some slumping bats here in September. So hopefully those guys are going to pick things up in the playoffs. Because, like I said, we're not trying to get first rounded again as we win 100 games of back-to-back seasons. But the pitching continues to be really, really good. The best ERA in both starters and bullpen. The least amount of runs allowed to go with the second most runs scored. Second in WAR, first in hits, opponent's average. Second in BABIP, tied for 5th in home runs. Second in base on balls, 5th in strikeouts. Second in defensive efficiency, and 1st in zone rating. And they're committing a lot of errors for some reason. I don't know what's going on there, but a lot of errors. I'd have to imagine that maybe some of them are Brady Ebel, who, once again, I don't understand. He had 11 errors at first base as a 75 grade first baseman. What? And then didn't he have like 13 home runs when we checked in like mid-June? I mean, just dreadful. Yeah, he was tearing the cover off the ball in May and June, and then just ever since then, he's been horrible. He's hit 4 home runs in the second half of the season. We do have some injuries. We had to deal with. Unfortunately, Bobby Matamoros got hurt. He only has a week left on that, so he'll be back for the postseason, at least hopefully, and hopefully doesn't have like an unknown return time once this week runs out. Rodriguez will be back in the second round if we make it. Halleck will not obviously be back. Same with Pilkington. Kleeman is currently on a rehab assignment. And then Mateo Reyes is currently hurt, but he only has 5 days, so he'll be pitching in the postseason for us. But as far as we'll start things off with the pitching side of things. We'll sort by innings pitched here. Dax Hardcastle, 168 and a third innings pitched with a 5.2 WAR. He was our ace this year. Jerry Harris, horrible on the mound this year. Dax Hardcastle, really, really good. Unfortunately, our three-headed dragon that we thought we were heading into the season with didn't really come to fruition. Obviously, Tarek Skubal would have been a part of that if he played the whole year, but he did have that herniated disc where he missed 2 months. So Tarek Skubal missed a bunch of time, but he was really, really, really good when he plays. So he's ready to go for the playoffs. He's fully back. But Jerry Harris just did not figure it out this year with the arm. I mean, to the point to where, like, I mean, on paper he's one of our best guys to go, but like, do we want to risk him laying a stinker in the playoffs? Probably not, but like, who else will we start? So like 1-2 is definitely going to be Hardcastle, Skubal, some variation of that. 3 could be Harris, 3 could be somebody else, but Alex Rouse, he was solid with a 2 WAR this season. Brian Flory was like whatever, kind of just treaded water. And then as far as the rest of the arms go, Wellington Herrera doing his thing in the bullpen, 96 in the third innings. He was fantastic. Mateo Reyes was really good. Edwin Alcia was really good. Felix Bautista came over at the deadline and actually got off to not a great start when we had him in a setup/high leverage role. And then once Matamoros got hurt, and I felt comfortable that he wasn't going to get 40 games finished, which we double check out. He didn't even get close to it. Yes, 10 games with us, 10 games with them, 7 games with us, so 17 games finished this season. Not even close to getting the 40 that he needs for a vesting option. But Felix Bautista ended up putting it together once he was in a closing role. So I guess that's something we should keep an eye on there. He should only pitch towards the end of games. And then Kevin Yoder, he did well in his role. He walks a ton of guys, but he strikes out a ton of guys. That's his thing. He has nasty, nasty stuff, but he has no clue where it's going, and you just kind of live with that because it's so incredibly nasty. Robinson Ortiz did his thing. Isaac Leone came up as well, made 6 starts for us. He was really good. Maybe he's a guy who starts in the postseason for us. We'll have to see. And then Miguel Cime Jr. had a bunch of injuries, but when he was healthy, he did perform quite well for us with a 2 ERA and a barely under 3 FIP. He had, like this year, he had a 6-week elbow strain and a 6-week strained forearm that kept him out with lengthy rehab assignments for both of those. So he missed a lot of time, only pitched 33 2/3 innings for us, unfortunately for him. And then take a look at the hitting side of things, where we'll sort by WAR. Angel Feliz putting together a 5-win season at the shortstop position for us. A 115 WRC plus, 19 doubles and 19 home runs. Not exactly the best counting numbers there for doubles and home runs, but I mean, he swiped 25 bags at a 92% rate, so not quite a 2020 season, but still a very, very valuable player, as he's just a really good player for us. And then Harry Ford, not his best season, but still a 3.8 WAR year, 109 WRC plus, 26 doubles. We'll take it. 14 home runs, 21 swipe bags. Jerry Harris didn't quite finish the year strong at the plate. He did have a really good April, May, June, July, but then August and September definitely started to slip as the season went on, so hopefully he can figure it out in the postseason, on the mound and at the plate. And then we had Luis Hernandez, who finished around, I mean, literally a league average WRC plus, but a 3-win player, 15 swipe bags, 21 home runs. And then he played a really 4 ZR, not as good as it was last year with 11 ZR, but still a positive defender at third base, as well as Angel Feliz at shortstop, I should mention, 7.4 ZR. So then we move things on to Zahir Hope, who finished the year in center field. This actually, I believe, went down because he played such a bad center field, I'd have to imagine. But the WRC Plus was a little bit higher at one point. But he's had a solid season overall. Some decent percentile rankings here. 2.5 wins, 24 doubles, 18 home runs for him. We look at his, ZR in center, not great. So we might have to... I mean, he's probably just going to play center field for us in the postseason. We're just going to deal with it, honestly, because Mike Sirota's bat just doesn't get it done, and we want Wood, and then maybe O'Ray, maybe Picott, depending on what's going on, because both of them are quite good. You can see they both put up 2.5-win seasons. Picott ended up putting it together against both sides here, and he's got some serious pop. He's a really good player for us, so we like him. And then Dylan O'Ray has that really good bat-to-ball skills. He works walks, so we might want him in the lineup just to have a little bit of a mix of some other stuff because we have a lot of swing and miss power in the lineup as well. But then we also have Mike Sirota, who put together a 2-win season, barely below league average WRC plus. So maybe he will play a little bit, but I don't know. We'll have to see. But then Jet Williams, he struggled down the stretch. Ronnie Cruz struggled at the plate this year, playing every third game at second once he came back from his injury. And then James Wood, only 37 games this year, but a 147 WRC plus and 146 plate appearances. Tore his Achilles right at the beginning of the season. He's back somehow already and didn't miss a beat. He's just, boom, right back in at 11 doubles, 6 home runs, 926 OPS. He's doing his thing. So he's obviously going to play in the corner for us. And then Melvin Jimenez, backup catcher, whatever. Brady Ebel, we already talked about him. Unfortunate second half for him. And then Jackson Wood barely played, but he was around as kind of like a vibes, high leader sort of player to provide some defense and pinch running off the bench. I should also talk about Shane Rodemaker because he did get multiple chances in the rotation this year, and he just did not get it done at any level. If you look at his splits here at the big leagues, as a starter, he had, just as regular starter, he was a little bit better. As a follower, he was not great. So just, it's not looking great for Shane Rodemaker, unfortunately. And we do have him for 1 more year guaranteed. So that might be something that we might have to just kind of eat at this point. We'll have to see. But we'll make that decision in the offseason. For now, he will not be on the postseason roster. And then Eric Kleeman got 9 starts at the big league level, had a really good ERA, gave up way too many home runs, even with this home run allowed. So not the best first impression at the big league level. Don't think we're going to be pitching him in the postseason, but we still think that he's going to be a part of our staff here heading forward in the future. And I should also mention Wilkin Tamariz, who is on the 40-man roster. He is eligible for the postseason. If we decided to put him on the roster, I don't know where he would play, but he could be an option here. 60 power. I mean, he's looking really good. He put up back-to-back really, really good seasons in AA and in AAA. 31 home runs at the AAA level in Rochester this season. Definitely looking like a guy who's going to be a part of our plans here as we, maybe Dylan O'Ray is not back next season. We'll have to make decisions on guys that we want to pay, guys that we want to play, trade some other guys. We have some decisions in this offseason coming up here, and one of those decisions, along with Tamariz, is going to be Luke Corsia, who you look at his ratings here, his percentile rankings in AAA, nothing that great. He didn't strike out a ton, had some good base running, but then in AA, a little bit better here. Really good contact, really good gap power. He's developing very fast. He's 20 years old. He's about to be 21. He's the number 17 prospect. He expects to play in the major leagues. He is on the 40-man roster. We made him eligible for the postseason. He was added to the 40-man roster late August before the expansion happened. So he's on the 40-man. He can play in the playoffs if we decided to do that. You look at his ratings. I mean, he's got really solid ratings when it comes to the contact and gap power to go along with his speed. So, maybe if we needed him at some point, but probably not going to be on the initial postseason roster, but definitely another guy who we have to take into account what we're going to do with him in the offseason. And then taking a look at some statistics around the league, your American League batting title went to Kevin McGonigal of the Detroit Tigers. In the National League, it went to Alfonso Garcia of the D-backs. Yeah, he's the guy who went to Pro Baseball Academy with 80 grade power now. I mean, that is crazy. Hitting 300 wall, 37 home runs, 38 doubles with 80 grade power. I mean, you'd have to imagine that he hit something more than 37 at some point with 80 grade power. That's crazy. 75 against lefties as well, even as a left-handed bat. Pretty crazy player there. Home runs, Quinn Holm, only 36. It looks like he maybe got hurt. Yeah, fractured his thumb, missed 6 weeks, only hit 36 home runs. So does not hit 60 for a 4th straight season, unfortunately for him, but still elite power from him. The leader was Matt Barone, a switch hitter on the New York Yankees, hit 47 home runs. As a switch hitter, you have to imagine a lot of those are in the short porch. And we move things on. Wins above replacement, Brandon Poore of the Cincinnati Reds and Elly De La Cruz, both with 6.5 wins in the National League. You also got Matt Wentz with 6, McGonigal with 6. Yeah, a lot of really good players. Stolen base leader Donovan Marion of the Milwaukee Brewers. He went 1-1 to them in 2030 at a Stony Brook. I mean, he is crazy. 3 straight seasons of 5 wins. Really, really, really good player. I mean, this guy's like arguably the best player in the big leagues. I mean, 80 grade speed, this bat, 65 range. Okay, so maybe he's probably a bit of a corner, but I mean, really insane player for the Brewers. 77 swipe bags. And then Elly De La Cruz, still swiping 60 bags every year, essentially. Putting together another 6-win season. I mean, he is insane. He is now up to 69.4 career WAR here at age 31. Continues to be just absolutely elite at every percentile ranking, as the Reds are definitely a scary team. The hits leader was Steve Odell of the Athletics. Sure. And then the National League, or that was the stolen bases, the National League leader was another Red, 180 hits, Chris Waymeyer. Okay, another insane Reds hitter as they just absolutely mash over there in Cincinnati. Runs scored, Jerry Harris had the most runs scored in Major League Baseball this season. That's fantastic. Also the 7th most total bases. Waymeyer also had 15 triples along with Brandon Poore. They had 2 guys with 10-plus triples over in Cincinnati. And then Waymeyer had 45 doubles as well. What an insane player. That's what 80 grade gap power does for you, folks. And then we move things on to base on balls counting stats. Jerry Harris was 3rd, and none of our other players appeared here. But on the pitching side of things, Dax Hardcastle, top 6 in ERA with a 3.05. Your leader in the American League was Bubba Patrak of the Tampa Bay Rays, a 26-year-old. Putting together a 5-win season here for them. And then the National League leader was Jason DeCaro of the UNC Tar Heels. He's pitching in real life. They just advanced to the championship game, or the championship round of College World Series as I'm recording this, as he put together a league-leading 2.79 ERA with the St. Louis Cardinals. And then wins leader, so I guess, yeah, a lot of American League here. And then the National League leader was Dax Hardcastle with 14 wins. Strikeout leader was Patrak. Wins above replacement, Dax Hardcastle was 4th, which was the highest in the National League. So we might have ourselves a Cy Young winner in Dax Hardcastle this year. That would be fantastic. Nobody got on the saves here, as Matamoros and Bautista kind of split it down the stretch. And then also Herrera got a decent amount of saves for us this season. He got like 12. Brian Wu with 200 innings pitched, still getting it done at 33, almost 34 years old. I mean, he is just a machine. Literally just never been hurt. His worst injury, I mean, he's had a couple like mild, like couple week-long injuries, but I mean, he is an absolute machine, just putting up 180 plus innings every year. What a player. My God. And then Dax Hardcastle here with the whip, with the FIP, with the walks per 9. Herrera with some of the most shutdowns in the big leagues. Holds, you got Reyes, Bautista, and Agro on this list. Hardcastle with the quality starts, with the adjusted ERA, the ERA plus, with the winning percentage, who cares? and that's it. And then on the fielding side of things, yeah, Brady Ebel getting a bunch of putouts and chances. Amador committing 21 errors with the Minnesota Twins. So we didn't have any league-leading error guys, but we had the most errors in the National League for whatever reason, or whatever it was. I think it was like the 5th or 1st or whatever it was. We had a ton of errors committed for some reason. Any of our other players, Harry Ford, defensive efficiency, runners thrown out, catcher's ERA, doing his thing behind the plate. And then when it comes to streaks, 8-game RBI streak for Picott, 42-game save streak for Matamoros that's still going. 11-game winning streak for Skubal is still going. 10-game for Hardcastle. 8-game for Yorkin, which is still going. Skubal's been undefeated in 21 straight games, apparently. That's still ongoing. 9 games in a row with an extra base hit for Jerry Harris. And Dax Hardcastle with 6 straight quality starts. Robinson Ortiz with 17 straight scoreless games. Hernandez with consecutive on base, Feliz with consecutive stolen bases, Yoder with 8 consecutive Ks. That's apparently ongoing. So take a look at the playoff tree here. You've got the Washington Nationals and the Milwaukee Brewers are your first round buys, while the Mets, Reds will be duking it out, and the Padres and Dodgers will be taking on each other in the wild card round. Well, over on the American League side of things, it's the Blue Jays and the Angels with the buys, and then the Astros Red Sox matchup, and White Sox and Twins with a matchup over on the American League side of things. We shall see who will be taking on in the DS next time.